As you probably know, Jim Carrey has been in a lot of movies over the years. But why is it now, when he's seemingly an outdated actor, are they wanting us to believe that he's nothing more than a nutjob? This article here states, Canadians are a peculiar group of people, any nation of human beings that believe Swiss chalet sauce is fit for human consumption, while wild mooses roam around, will look at life a little differently from your average American. Their celebrity imports haven't been that bad over the years, with Jim Carrey being one of their most notable. But to be that bizarre for so long, without altered states of consciousness, inspired by drugs, is a trick even Chris Angel would have trouble pulling off. And maybe it's time for Jim to find his second career wind in the city of sin and has-beens. The elderly, eager to be entertained, and lights in Las Vegas are waiting for you, Jim. Your most recent interview sealed your fate. Pretty tough critic there, wouldn't you say? And we will get to the interview that the article is talking about, but I want to talk about another interview first. This interview, from way back in 1994, didn't really mean anything at the time, but is now causing Jim Carrey to face the wrath of the Illuminati.
Please say hello to Jim Carrey.
So right off the bat, you should notice that Jim Carrey and Jimmy Kimmel not only greet each other with the classic Freemason handshake, but they also include the Freemason hug. Next thing that you should notice is Jim Carrey's shirt that says, "I need more space." Now, if you aren't familiar with Jim Carrey's stance on the moon landing, here you go.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry.
I can see that how that would affect your Christmas.
I made that whole thing up.
What?
I'm sorry. I guess I just wanted to seem interesting. I guess there's a real danger of that on this show.
There's a pressure.
Well, yeah,
yes.
people come out and they've run out of anecdotes, you know, and they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story. Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
Make no mistake about it, the only joke Jim Carrey just made was at the expense of any American that believes the globe model is accurate, and Jay Leno could barely contain himself from laughing at all of us.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so why did it take so long for Jim Carrey to take a seat? Well, if you notice, it's almost like he was waiting for an invitation. And I'm sure not a lot of people know this, but one of the rules to being a Freemason is, brethren, do not take a seat in the east without an invitation, even if all other seats are full. Why? While all brethren within a tiled room are equal to one another, and the officers are servants of the brethren. All lodge officers have worked and studied long and hard for their lodge.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
This part is extremely important and often gets overlooked. Jim Carrey isn't joking or trying to be funny at all. The audience is probably only laughing and applauding because one of the producers keeps hitting the damn laugh button. Jim Carrey is legitimately calling out Jimmy Kimmel for being a part of the Illuminati, and although Jimmy Kimmel denies knowing what the secret meaning behind all these symbols are, his hands tell us a different story only 20 seconds in to this video.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. Oh, David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy.
Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue. It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. And, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious, hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second.
As you've probably heard, history always seems to repeat itself. Remember all the way back when Dave Chappelle didn't want to join the Illuminati and ran away to Africa? Well, let's listen to some of the similarities between Dave Chappelle and Jim Carrey.
Name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there. Thus, Africa. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys gonna learn a lot tonight.
What can they learn?
You know, like you guys are students now, so you're idealists, but you don't know about where art and corporate interests meet yet. Just prepare to have your heart broken. Like, in a way. You see him laughing, that evil laugh? Because he knows, man, and everybody laughs at me, but just get your Africa tickets ready, baby, because it's coming. In a way. You see him laughing, that evil laugh? Because he knows, man.
And, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people will enjoy Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were
We should all go to the theater. We should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it.
They should.
Because we could use a good laugh. Ha 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 ha.
I just showed you a perfect example of two individuals who are a part of a secret society that goes far deeper than either you or I can possibly imagine.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
The first impossibility is a real airplane couldn't have sliced through a building with a steel facade with reinforced concrete flooring.
What does that mean for America?
But the second impossibility is in plain sight. In fact, I can't believe it took me over 12 years to see. Let me show you a still of this video. I've highlighted a building that's clearly behind the South World Trade Center tower. Yet when we pay close attention to the video, Flight 175's wing should appear in front of the building, not behind it. This is a layering CGI glitch, and this proves that this video, which was seen all over the world, over and over and over again, year after year, is a CGI rendering.
From my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon.
What does that mean for America?
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
Sometimes we label these people and put them into different groups, like the Skull and Bone Society, or the Freemasons, and maybe more vaguely, the Illuminati.
It's our intention. Our intention is everything. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention.
Maybe these secret societies' intentions differ among themselves, but make no mistake about it, when it comes to everyday people like you or me, they share a common interest.
And look, I've done my fair share of awkward red carpet interviews, that is for sure, but Jim Carrey is setting the internet into a spin this morning. The actor attended an Icons party for New York Fashion Week, and the reporter was left gobsmacked by his antics.
Hey, Jim Carrey. Yes.
What?
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join. And here I am.
They're celebrating.
You gotta admit, it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe in
icons. Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
Now I think it is painfully obvious that Jim Carrey is a part of, for lack of a better term, the Illuminati. And although it is easy to say that maybe Jim Carrey regrets becoming a member, once you sell your soul, it's gone.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies.
Now why is this important? And at this point, why does Jim Carrey even matter? Jim Carrey is starting to say things that people think are strange, but he's only saying the things that he says because he's there to give people that are aware of these secret societies false hope. Because if Jim Carrey knows that something is going on and he's sick of it, then there has to be more people who are sick of it. But I don't think that's a fair assumption to make, considering how painfully obvious the last false flag event was. And honestly, the whole reason I made this video was just an attempt to get around whatever puppet is pulling the strings at YouTube. You see, every time there's a shooting of any kind, these people try and grab our guns.
Well, hello, everyone. Here we are again in the aftermath of another terrible, inexplicable, shocking, and painful tragedy, this time in Las Vegas, which happens to be my hometown and Cleto's hometown, Cleto Sr.'s hometown. Who thinks that makes sense? Them, I guess, the people who voted with the NRA. Maybe I'm nuts, but I would like to think we can put politics aside and agree that no American citizen needs an M16 or 10 of them. And maybe that way we don't do this again.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
They always act like that's the solution, because it makes perfect sense that we would want to disarm ourselves after a shooting occurs. And if you didn't catch that, that was pure sarcasm. And speaking of catching, unfortunately, I think they have finally caught on that we aren't just going to give up our guns. But you know what guns don't work against?
In Portugal, we had a fire just similar to California. Cars are melting, but the trees are intact, the grass is intact, the pavement is intact, the road is intact, everything is intact. But the cars are melting. Why? I don't know, you tell me. This pattern over here, I'm gonna be talking about it. It's leaving Antarctica, and you can clearly see this is HARP or directed weapons, whatever this is. It's steering a hurricane just across Australia. As you can see, these clouds are not natural. And the bizarre thing is, I've never seen such a formation as you've seen right now. I've never seen that. See, the hurricane comes out of nowhere, right? As if it's being formed, geo-engineered indeed. And right behind Brian, we have another one, a much bigger one. It winds around 200 kilometers an hour. Now, the forecast for now is saying that this is gonna die off before it actually hits Ireland and the UK. In the United States of America, we have chemtrailing and HARP all over. People are curious into why they are chemtrailing California so much lately, right? Well, folks, as I told you guys, I feel like I'm living inside Geostorm. We have one storm after another just battering the west coast of the United States and Canada. On the 18th, we have this huge storm that dies off when it hits the continent, with really strong winds though. And right after it, on the 21st, a couple of days, we have this other huge storm with very strong winds, again hitting the west coast of the United States and Canada. Now, on the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry, the 23rd. Is it the 23rd? Are you kidding me? This huge storm, the size of the United States of America, something I've never seen before, folks. This doesn't have one eye. It has like a lot of eyes. I've never seen a hurricane with more than one eye, right? But the reason is, and I'm gonna show you in just a couple of minutes, this is actually two hurricanes that got together and became bigger than the United States itself. And if you stop to analyze it, we actually have three hurricane formations, right? Just like in that movie. And this very strange pattern, artificial pattern, coming in from the Pacific Ocean.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control. We shall propose finally a global systems of communication satellites linking the whole world in telegraph and telephone and radio and television. The day need not be far away when such a system will televise the proceedings of this body to every corner of the world for the benefit of peace.
Kennedy was talking about weather control with confidence. In April of the previous year, the TIROS satellite had been launched from Cape Canaveral and equipped with solar power to send back images of cloud formations. The national press announced that TIROS, quote, opens up new vistas for weather forecasting and control, unquote. But developments in weather control had already been underway. In 1958, the military announced success with weather modification by sending powerful electromagnetic beams into the upper atmosphere using ionospheric heaters like the one at HARP today. There's a longer article on the history of weather modification in the link below. I advise you to read it, look through it, see the people involved to get a better sense of where we stand on weather modification and even global warming. 1964 cartoon of the TIROS satellite. Little humor. When we predict snow, it snows.
As much as the everyday person doesn't want to admit to it, the government has actually been capable of controlling the weather for quite a while now. And maybe it's just me, but I definitely don't think that they are trying to put the fires out in California. After all, they are the ones who more than likely started them. I guess time can only tell us if this massive hurricane is going to hit, but I have a feeling this will be the card that we are dealt.